Welcome to the VBK Lab, a space for journeys, experiences, and interconnections. In today's podcast episode titled Starting to Return to Myself When I Want to Truly Live, I will share about the moment of transformation when desperation gives way to a desire to live, but to live gently. And honestly, if you're also looking for a way back inside, this episode is for you. There are days when I don't want to die anymore. I just want to live a gentle life with myself, step into the pain, and start truly living. For a long time, I tried everything to escape the pain. I read self-help books, listened to inspiring podcasts, wrote positive things. But I still felt lost. I thought that if I tried hard enough, if I was positive enough, the old hurts would go away, but they didn't. They just waited for me to burn out so they could come back, bigger, darker one day. I stopped running, not because I was stronger, but because I was so tired, so tired. I didn't have the strength to pretend. I didn't have the energy to keep fighting myself instead of trying to walk. Through the pain, I decided to walk into it gently, slowly, as if I was entering a dark room I had always avoided. I started writing down whatever was on my mind, including the ugly, shameful thoughts. I practiced sitting still for 3 minutes every morning, just breathing, just feeling my body. I went to therapy, not to fix myself, but to be heard, to be seen. I started saying no, even though my hands were shaking. And my heart was still afraid of being abandoned. Little by little, I realized the pain didn't destroy me. It was the denial that made me wither. Facing my grief is a lonely, slow journey with no shortcuts, but it is also a gateway to myself, honestly. And without judgment now, I no longer wish for it to be well or happily ever after. I only wish for the courage to stay with all my emotions, even the most painful ones, because when I stop running, I can truly begin to live. When there is nothing left to lose. I didn't start my journey back to myself with motivation, inspiration, or a burning determination. I started with exhaustion, with waking up one morning and seeing no reason to try anymore, and more energy to pretend to be okay, to be strong, to run away from my own feelings when I had nothing left to lose. I agreed to try a few small things, write a few lines every day, even if they were confusing and meaningless, read a few pages of a book about trauma. Even if I wasn't ready to face it, ask for help. Even if it was embarrassing, no miracle happened right away. But little by little, I began to hear a small voice inside me, weak but true, and I understood. You don't have to be strong to start. You just have to be honest. You just have to stay. Even if it's just a tiny bit of hope, if you only have one day left to live, how should you live it? The question came one tired morning, not the fatigue of lack of sleep, but the fatigue of the soul, when all efforts become meaningless and I am not sure I want to continue. But then, in that void, I asked myself, if I only had one day left to live, how would I live it worthily? Not to succeed, not to please anyone, just to be myself. For once, and as I live every day as if it were my last, I slowly find meaning again, not in the